guys, welcome to the Uncreative Crafter. My name is Jen. I am your host. Today is Sunday, September 20th. It is a beautiful sunny day here in New Hampshire. A little bit on the cooler side. I think it was mid to high 60s. I saw people in pants and sweatshirts, which is, I think, kind of cute. I mean, I guess it's cold if you're not used to it, but we knew it was coming. It feels pretty nice if you ask me. So anyway, if you are new to this podcast or newer, welcome so much. Welcome so much. It's been a while since I did this. You can probably tell. Thanks for checking me out. This is a primarily knitting / fiber related podcast with a few extra things thrown in here and there as I do them. You can find me on the internet mainly as Stormcoast. You'll find me on Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, which I don't really use, but I probably should. Various other places that I'll put in the end credits of the show. And if you are a returning viewer, you rock. Thanks for coming back and for putting up with me as I I've been on a bit of a hiatus, unintended. I did mean to record last weekend, but tired. By the time I finally got around to it, didn't feel like it. But I'm back, and better than ever. So, let's get right on into business. So I did draw for my 100 YouTube subscribers winner, about 10 days ago. It was a separate video, just a little mini thing I threw up on YouTube. I did also post it in the thread on Ravelry who won, and that was Lisa K, whose name I am not going to try to pronounce. Lisa, I do need you to get in touch with me so I can get this sent out to you. I'm going to give you until October 10th to get in touch with me, and if I still haven't heard from you, just because you didn't give me a Ravelry name or a way to contact you, I will need to draw another winner, and I don't want to do that because I really want to send it to you. So Lisa K, you can hit me up on Ravelry. Again, send me a message. My name is Stormcoast. You should be able to send me a message on YouTube. I tried sending you one. I don't really know if you get an email or how that works. Send me a message on Instagram, however you'd like to get in touch with me, even in a comment. Give me a sense of how to get to you, and then I will send my hand-spun yarn out to you. So you've got until October 10th, Lisa. Call me. Alright, speaking of giveaways, have you guys been listening to New Hampshire Knits? By the way, it's a Doctor Who kind of day. Got my exploding TARDIS mug. I decided last minute I was going to throw in my perler bead TARDIS hair clip, and I am drinking some sweet chai o mine tea from Andrea the cat lady, who also sent me the hair clip. Wow, it's going to be tangent day. New Doctor Who season started yesterday. My husband and I buy it through iTunes because we don't have that channel on cable, so we will be watching that today, so I'm very excited. Anyway, have you guys been listening to New Hampshire Knits? Claire of New Hampshire Knits just celebrated her 1-year podiversary. Congratulations, Claire. And to celebrate, and also in conjunction with, she has designed her first pattern, which are the Agatha socks. There are these very beautiful, to me they almost look like butterflies. It's a beautiful pattern. I'll go ahead and link it. I'm terrible at describing things. And she has generously offered to give a pattern away to one of my viewers, which is awesome. And she also generously donated a pattern to me, or gifted a pattern to me. Yeah, gifted. So I will be making this a Ravelry giveaway. You do need to be on Ravelry to enter, and I will ask that you be a member of the Ravelry group to enter the contest, just because, there's like 60-something of you. I think that's fair. So what I'm going to do is, after I put this episode up, I'm going to open up the giveaway thread, and I'm going to ask you to answer a prompt, and I'm looking for what yarn you would use to knit the Agatha socks in. Whether this is your stash yarn, or this is a yarn that you've been eyeing for a long time, let me know what yarn it is, and let me know what color it is. She's shown it in a variety of different colors and types of yarn, which is really neat to get a sense of how it might look knitted up in something a little bit more rustic versus a little bit more smooth. And so I'm wondering what you guys would use. Your name and colorway, because I want to go look at the pretty yarns. I personally will be joining her Agatha Knit Along, which started Friday and is running through October 31st. So I will be doing it also. And I've decided to use my Red Heart and Soul yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago. And it's the color Ivory, so it's not exactly the most exciting color I've ever seen. But I thought it might be fun to have some neutral-ish fancy socks, because I've been knitting a lot of plain socks. So I'll be using Red Heart and Soul in Ivory. Hopefully you're using something a little bit more colorful than I am. So, to learn more details about the Knit Along and the Agatha socks, I strongly recommend that you listen to Claire's most recent episode, which is episode 27. The Agatha socks are actually on sale if you don't want to wait and see if you've won the pattern. If you don't want to wait and see if you have won the pattern, which I will close that thread on the 30th and draw a winner so you can get started in the Knit Along. The Knit Along is running through the 31st Halloween, so I want to give you plenty of time to enter. If you enter to get started. So you will want to check out her 27th episode. Her pattern is on sale through the 25th. It is normally going to be $3. It's on sale for $2 through the 25th. And my gal pal Christy of Fiber Stash is one of the featured yarns used in the pattern. And I know she is offering a discount code, but I don't remember the details of that code. So go ahead and listen to Claire's episode if you're interested in buying some of the Fiber Stash yarn. So go listen to episode 27 of New Hampshire Knits. This is going to be a disaster of an episode, I can already tell. Ozzy was sleeping for like 20 minutes and I should have started recording 20 minutes ago, but what can you do? Okay, so let's move on to what I'm working on. I am still spinning my Polworth. I'm not even going to pull it out and show it to you because it's not really any different than it was the last time. And I did visit my mom and my sister, my husband and I visited them for Labor Day. And so I was able to pick up a couple of projects that I hadn't really been working on and devote a little bit more time to those. So spinning was one of those projects. I also picked up my sock yarn Scrap Blankie, which is the knitted patchwork recipe by Martine Ellis. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is a lot of fun, and really a square doesn't take very long, so I don't know why I just haven't picked it up and worked on it. I've been, I guess, more excited about other things, but let me show you what I've worked on. So I don't remember what I had done the last time you saw it, but I have made some definite progress. I made it back into a square. I think I had all this rectangle-y part here. So I added, I think, 5 squares while I was away. And most of these are swap skeins that I got from one of my viewers, which was just super nice of her to do the swap with me. And I am working on getting some other swaps out with some other people, so hopefully I'll have some more fun yarn to put in here in a little bit. But let's go over what yarns they are. This top blue one is Felici. Knit Picks Felici building blocks. I did not actually get to the color change because I used so little yarn in a square. And I did look it up. I've been calling it Felici, even though I took Italian and I should know better. I looked up the Knit Picks video where they talk about Felici, and it's Felici, so oops, I've been saying it wrong. So Knit Picks Felici in building block. And then this is some Gnome Acres Hulk Smash. This one is Purple Goddess Design Bacon Stripes. Do you see it? See how it kind of looks like bacon? I did not really get to the dark brown part. That's the danger of using such small squares. This one is Knit Picks Felici in Afternoon, where I just started to get to the lime green. And then I have been trying, and obviously failing, this one's not my yarn, to put my yarns on the edges and to put swap yarns in the middle. this is my Felici jingle, which I did not get to the white part of that ball either. So I've made some progress, and I have a lot of ends to weave in, but I wove in most of them from the old stuff. So that is one of the things that I am still working on. And here is something, if you guys aren't sitting down, you may want to sit down. I am doing a little bit of crochet, which I don't think that I have done any crochet since I started this podcast. Yeah, no, I don't think I have. So I decided to use up some of the, I think it's Canaan is the name of the yarn brand and Gloria is the yarn. But I may have that backwards. It may be Gloria Canaan. And that is that black yarn that I got on sale for 50 cents a ball. So I bought a ton of it a few months ago. And I am making something called a summer blarf, which is, or the summer evening blarf, I guess it is. And that is B-L-A-R-F. It's a combination of blanket and scarf. It's not really the name I probably would have chosen, but I'm not a pattern designer. So I did start it. It is in black yarn, and I haven't crocheted in a while, and I chained over 200, which I must hate myself because the lighting in this apartment is terrible. I have a difficult enough time seeing what I'm doing when I'm not working with black yarn. And so I had this brilliant idea, and you may have seen it on, not YouTube, on Instagram a few weeks ago, where I held white crochet cotton along with my black to help me find the stitches to crochet into. And yeah, it actually worked really well, made it very easy to see. And then I've decided that I'm going to take out the white crochet cotton before I go any further. I've done the, starting chain and the first row. And that is taking forever. I felt like such a genius with the crochet cotton, and now I've literally gone no further because I want to take out this crochet cotton. I've been working on it. I got a lot done yesterday, and I'm actually just down to the last 30 stitches or so. But I mean, this gives you a sense. It's a long chain here, and I threw on these little, thinking that these stitch markers would help me count, but really they didn't. So I am working on the last 30 rows. So if we're having trouble picturing what that looked like, I am unraveling from the starting chain and the first row of stitches up here. So it is a little time consuming, but I'm afraid that if I just snip little bits, I'm going to cut the yarn, and I really don't want to do that because it took me forever to get this started. So hopefully there will be a little bit more crochet on the next episode. So again, don't freak out, guys. Everything is totally fine and normal. I crochet sometimes. It's a thing I do. So those are all of the things that I am working on. I have 3 finished objects, and we will start with the oldest first. So I have talked about going to sports events this year, and I took my purple Knit Picks socks to the Patriots game, and I took another pair of socks to the... No, was that the same pair of socks? Okay, I don't remember, but maybe I took these to the Patriots game. I finished my Felici mosaic socks, except for weaving in the ends because I'll do it eventually, don't worry. So this was very enjoyable. This is the first time that I have knit an afterthought heel in a while, because I was not knitting my foot long enough. I didn't realize, and so the heel wasn't fitting in exactly the best spot for me. So I've learned on an afterthought heel to knit a little bit further than where I think I want it to go, and it works out a lot better. And so, interestingly enough, these are kind of like semi-identical twins. I'm not a futzer. We've talked about this. I don't match up things because life's too short. they start at different points. We've got light blue, we've got dark blue, and then they slowly, are different. And then, again, you would have seen this on Instagram. It's supposed to go light blue into yellow, into like this coral. My skein went light blue, yellow, kind of freaked out a little bit, back into the dark blue, and then there was a knot, and it went back to yellow, and then the color progression was normal. So I was not too pleased about that, but whatever, I'm not going to complain about it. You can't get this colorway anymore. I just, I'm the only one who would really notice anything was off about them. But what I find really, really interesting about it, and it's not exact, but after you get to that point where you get back to the yellow, they match up pretty well on the top. There's there's a very slight, that's maybe like 3 or 4 rows difference, but they are fraternal on the bottom, and they're pretty much identical on the top. So these were some wacky socks. Maybe these went to the Patriots game. I'll look it up. So that is that. And then another thing that I finished, and you guys probably haven't even seen these because it's been so long, I started some mystery socks. I had a friend give me some Noro sock yarn a long time ago. So long ago that I don't actually know for sure 100% which yarn it was. I'm pretty sure it's the Noro Crayon sock in the color 188S because I've looked at the colorway and it looks like that. And again, these are finished except for weaving in the ends and apparently taking the scrap yarn out of them. So I did 2 of these, and they just, I don't know, I love Noro. I know it's not for everybody. And these are, again, pretty fraternal socks, but whatever. It's rustic. It feels crunchy, but I don't care. I put them on my feet, and I honestly can't tell that they feel rough. There was a knot in one of my skeins, and it must have been on this one. No, it all came in one skein, so there was a knot somewhere. But apparently I did a really good job, because I can't tell where the knot was. So, and it didn't affect the color progression. It was in one of these green spots right here. I haven't woven in the ends yet, so I have no idea where that is. But whatever. We're just wasting time at this point. I've got some more finished socks. So it has been the summer of sports and socks. I want to say these went to the Fisher Cats game with me. We got to go to a New Hampshire Fisher Cats. It's a minor league baseball game. Luxury suite. One of the baseballs hit right over our heads. We all freaked out. It was a lot of fun. And there's apparently a disaster going on outside. So, and then I finished one other thing, which you have not really seen either. Unless you follow me on Instagram, but I tried really hard not to spoil it. And you might want to sit down again, because it's not socks. It's a hat. I decided that I wanted to try using up some more of my hand spun, because I spin it and then I don't do anything with it. And so I figured I wanted to use some of what I have called Tequila Sunrise. I think I spun this since I started podcasting. So this was from some Good Vibrations 100% merino. I don't believe it's superwash merino. That I got at Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival a few years ago. Don't remember the exact year. And they had suggested that I Navajo ply it, and at the time I didn't know how to Navajo ply. This was the second yarn I've ever Navajo plied, and I mean, I found it enjoyable. I don't know if there's supposed to be long color repeats in Navajo plying or what, but it was pretty cool. Let me show you what the yarn looks like. So I wound it up, obviously, into a ball. These colors are a little bit too yellowy, but pretty good. representation. So it's got, super bright oranges and some deep purples and a little bit of like pinky purple areas. We've got some light brown in there somewhere. There's some light brown and some dark brown and a little bit even like maroonish. So this is just all over the map, crazy colors. So I had spun about 286 yards, and I thought it was a pretty thin yarn. I tried swatching it. I knew I wanted to do the Worm Hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Katharina Knop. I don't know. I'll put a link in. And it's written for sport weight yarn. I swatched. I thought I was getting gauge, and then I realized I'd miscalculated. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to math. And so it's a bit thicker of a yarn than is used in the pattern. So again, sit down. I did some math. And I sort of adjusted a pattern to fit the yarn I was using. It's not super complicated. I mostly just figured out what I wanted for a brim, and I guesstimated the gauge. It's not an exact gauge because my handspun's not that consistent, but I ripped it out a bunch of times, at least 2 or 3 times, trying to figure out. I'd cast on the medium, and then the way she writes the pattern, I didn't love the brim. It was way too tight on me. And I didn't love knitting the brim, and I thought rather than redo it in the bigger size, I will adjust it. So I figured out approximately how many I wanted, and I did a little bit of math to figure out approximately how much I should increase based on her pattern, which involved, again, a lot of math, and I made it work for me. So, again, I have not finished sewing in the ends because I just finished this yesterday, but this is a hat in my handspun, and it looks like this. It's very much like a beehive type pattern. It's a bit tough to see, but you've got the pearl ridges, and then you've got little stockinette sections in between them. And so I adjusted the pattern. I did a 1x1 rib. The brim she gives you gives sort of an approximation of a 1x1 rib, and I decided I just wanted to do a 1x1 rib. I just liked that better. And I did not really think I was going to love this hat while I was knitting it. It's predominantly orange. Like, looking at the yarn, you would really think, obviously, yeah, there's a lot of colors in here, but mostly the pearl bumps are orange, and all of the pretty colors are, like, hidden in the stockinette ridges. I did get a, couple that were brownish here and the top of the hat. And I had to fudge the decreases on the top of the hat because I didn't pay attention to the pattern, but I figured out sort of how to get myself back on track, and I think it came out pretty well, actually, if I may say so myself. I'm not going to put it on because of my hair clip, but I did take a picture of myself wearing it yesterday just to show some people. And I don't know, it's actually kind of cute. I may keep this one for myself. I don't normally do slouchy. This isn't super slouchy, but if I wear my hair down, I think it's actually kind of cute. So, I used more than half of my yarn. I think I had about 111 grams of yarn, and I used about 69 grams, or about maybe 178 yards. I would love to tell you the gauge I got, but I don't know. I knit it, I think the ribbing was on 4s, US size 4s, and then I knit the body of the hat on 6s. So I kept the needle size that she uses in her pattern, even though my yarn was a different weight, and it basically worked out. So I mathed, and it worked, which is really cool. So those are my 3 finished objects, and I need to drink some more of this tea. I'm like the kind of person that keeps the spoon in the tea so I can keep stirring it. Sorry if that's annoying. That's just how I roll. Okay, let's talk about stash. And I almost forgot some of these stash items too. So that shows you how good of a day I've been having. I have a coworker. I've switched buildings, but you can enter office mail things or outer office mail. I don't know how you would call it, sending it between buildings. You send it on the courier run, but whatever. And she's been cleaning out her craft room, and she thought of me for a couple of different things that she was, thinking didn't work for her anymore, so she sent them to me. And the first one is called Lace Knitting to Go. And it is 25 lovely laces to use for edgings, embellishments, and more by Andrea Tung. And it comes in this little box. And you take the top off, and you have got these 25 little cards. So they give you the name. This one is Madame Butterfly. You've got a picture of the lace. You open it up, and it gives you materials, approximate, needle size, the yarn they used. It gives you a chart, written directions, etc. I'm not going to show you the chart, but so I thought this was really cool. I haven't had a chance to look into it too much. And she did say that if I wasn't sure, I could use it to pass it along. So this may be a giveaway prize. I haven't decided yet. I need to look into this further. But I thought it was cool that she thought of me, and maybe I'll play around with this and do some more math and maybe design my own thing. I don't know. And then the other thing she sent me, this is so appropriate. We're starting to move into fall. It's not technically fall yet, despite the pumpkin spice everywhere. And she said, if you do keep this book, I want you to make me something out of it. So my crochet is sort of like me getting back in the saddle here. And I knew that I would take this from her because I had seen this in my old local yarn store. And this is Creepy Cute Crochet. So you've probably figured out it's not like granny square afghans or anything like that. It's some quirky looking guys here. And on the back too, you've got like a Frankenstein and a skull and a little devil and all that. So this has just a bunch of cute creatures, and this is what they all look like. And she said if I keep it, I have to make her the bride and groom. Yes. I think I have to make her these two if I keep this. So I thought that was pretty fun, and I have not actually made a toy, so that will be interesting. And I did get some yarn, like, I'm not gonna lie. One of them you can't see, because I'm actually glad you can kind of see right up there are some brown paper bags. I decided I've been feeling like I need to use older stash, but I've been getting really nice new stash for sock yarn. And I've heard about brown bags where you put in a yarn and a pattern and you pick randomly each month. And I'm not going to pick a pattern because most of my socks are pretty plain, I don't do patterns for the most part. But I thought it would be fun to have sort of random picks of sock yarn. So I'm going to have my husband pick every time I finish a sock, and he gets to pick the next shipment. I am going to work on the Agatha socks first. I do know what my next yarn is going to be, because he picked before I knew about the Agatha socks, but it's okay. So one of my yarns is actually in one of those bags. If you are a member of the Mad Geek Fiber Arts Geek Tour, and you're getting the Doctor Who yarn, cover your ears for a few minutes. So I did not write down the base, but I took a picture, and I will put that in here. And this is on one of her sock bases. I don't remember the fiber content because I'm awesome like that, but it's called Slim and a Little Bit Foxy. And as soon as I opened it, I knew exactly what it was from because I'm a nerd. But my husband and I had actually, right when we got Ozzy, or right before we got her, I don't remember, but we decided we wanted to rewatch the Doctor Who episode with the cat nurses. and they're in like New York, and so it's Rose and the 10th Doctor, and of course I knew it was from that episode. It's got his very classic brown of his trench coat and these blue stripes, and I'll put a link to actually where she has posted a picture in her group of how it knits up, and he's just got the good blue of the suit. I loved that. And that one, the first yarn I got from the Geek Tour is a single ply, and so I didn't want to use that for socks. This is like a 3 or a 4 ply, I think. So I'm way more comfortable using that for socks, and those will be for me, because everything I make is for me, for the most part. The other thing I got, I can show you guys. I have been trying not to buy yarn, just because I feel like I have so much of it. I keep wanting to use the new stuff and not work with the old stuff. And eventually the new stuff will become old stuff, and I won't want to work with that either. But Dana of the Unwind Yarn Company and the Just One More Row audio podcast posted some pictures on Instagram of her Halloween colorways, and I had to. Like, I'm not even going to make an excuse for it. I knew I wanted it. She posts pictures of how her yarns look once you've swatched them, and this one was just amazing. This one is called The Aunt's Journey, and I believe it is from her Hocus Pocus inspired colorways. Although maybe it's not. Maybe I'm lying to you. She did a couple of different movie colorways. I thought it was Hocus Pocus, but who cares? Anyway, this is on her Journey sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It is 400 yards, and it looks like this. And actually, that is pretty true to color. Maybe you actually want to see the label. I don't know. So, just, oh my god, it's black, and then you've got electric pink, and just vibrant purple, and I don't care. I just wanted it. I don't have a plan for this. I don't want it to be socks, I'm thinking, because I didn't put it in my brown bag sock club thingy, but I don't know what I want it to be. I don't know if I would wear arm warmers. Like, maybe these arm warmers are too cool for me. I don't know. Do you have any suggestions? Like, hat, maybe? Cool scarf? If you have any ideas, let me know. Pop a comment on the video or on the Ravelry thread, because you know I'm always up for enabling. So that is what I stashed. I am probably running longer than I expected, which I probably should have expected I'd run long, because it's been like a month. Maybe the title of this episode will just be, Maybe You Should Sit Down. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Let me write that down. Okay, so if you're not sitting down, maybe you should sit down, because there is some extra credit this week. Extra credit is where I talk about things that I've done that are not really yarn related, but they are crafty related. And I haven't had anything in this section for a long time. Andrea especially, sit down, because I did a little bit of decoupage. Not much, because I ran out. I was cutting the yarn circles out of the catalog, and I ran out of the ones for the most part, so I have to cut out some more. But I sat down, and if you've been watching for a while, you've seen my yarn bowl. Did you get it? So, my yarn bowl, and I had decoupaged all around the edges, and I decided I just wanted to get over the lip, because curving over, it's, you know, it's not obvious to see, but there are little bumps. It's not perfectly smooth. I didn't expect it would be. I'm not fussing with it. This is just me playing around. But I did decoupage, and it's kind of dirty on the inside, but whatever, around the lip. So I've at least gotten to the inside, and then I'm going to decoupage, I think, all the way down. And I'll probably decoupage the whole thing and take it to work and use it, like, to hold my keys or something. I don't know. So I did some decoupage, and I need to cut out some more yarn circles so I can keep decoupaging. So maybe I can finally cross stitch eventually. who knows? Who knows indeed. So let's move on to On the Edge, which is the boring part about my life, or maybe the exciting part about my life. I don't know. So if you are not interested, I am so not offended. I've been talking at you for probably an hour at this point. Go on and have a nice week. If you are interested in hearing about my life, stick around. So I'm thinking about cutting out my Birchbox reviews. I feel like they're time consuming and I don't know how interesting they are. I will include the one that I just got, but maybe I'll just sort of tell you what I got and I'll save reviews and I'll put them in show notes or something, I don't know. So, I did get the September box, which came in this super cute, Your Beautiful box. Thank you very much, Birchbox. I know, I appreciate it though. And we will just cut this part out probably because it's going to be me going in the box to find the things. So I got 5 products this month, and I got some Acure? I don't know how you pronounce that. Facial cleansing gel for combo to oily skin. It's a good size. I love getting face washes because I love trying new things. This one is pretty nice. Again, tough to read. Citrusy. Very cleansing, which is nice. I'm still on the quest to find the best face wash for myself, so always like getting face washes. Then I got 2 makeup samples, one of which I will probably not use, and I have not used, so if you're interested in this one, let me know, and I would be happy to send it to you, along with a mini skein or something, because they sent me Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil in medium brown. And I don't know if you see me, but I'm not really having many problems in the prominent brow department. So, I mean, certainly don't feel like you have to, take this off my hands. I'll give it to my mom or something. But if you're interested in trying this, let me know, because I don't think I'm going to use it. But Birchbox wouldn't know that. They don't know what my eyebrows look like. The other makeup thing that I got from them was some Trestique mini concealer crayon in Bisque. And it kind of confused me. I'm like, oh my god, it came without a top. No, this is the top, Jen. You're just super smart. So, I haven't tried this yet. I really should try more stuff like this. But I'm lazy. But I will definitely give it a shot, because my under eye bags are just, you could take a really long vacation in those bags. So, and then I got a product that I have been using and I'm really excited about it. And I didn't know that I would be excited about it because I've been getting a lot of hair stuff lately and I wasn't 100% sure. This is some Rusk Elixir Mist. It's a thermal shine mist. It's a really big sample, which is nice. It's kind of, anyway. And this is, I guess, like a serum for your hair. And I'm still new to using serums, and I didn't really know they made them for your hair. And I can't use this every day. I have thin, fine hair. And if I use this every day, I think my hair would maybe look a bit greasy. I put it on my wet hair, and then let it air dry for a while, and then I blow dry it. And it's shinier, and it lays flatter, and it's not a hold. Like, there's no holding going on, because this doesn't take a hold anyway. But I just feel like it's like more like wavy. I don't know. It looks cuter when I wear this. So I am definitely considering getting a full-size sample of this. And then this is what made my Birchbox worth it. A lot of people are like, why would you pay $10 for samples and you can't even choose them? Because sometimes the value of your samples is worth it. And I did get the Birchbox Mask Madness sampler set. I think in my last Birchbox. And I have used 3 of those so far, including one last night, which was quite nice. And I got a full-size mask, and this is the Nerd Skincare Super Hydrating Mask. Full-size mask is usually pretty worth it. Like, that's a couple of bucks right there, more than a couple. So, the only thing I have against the masks, and I didn't realize this because I've never used them before really, is they're usually very hydrating because they're serumy, they sit on your skin as opposed to being more drying like a clay mask. I should probably try these again in the winter, when my skin is a little bit drier. But I'm excited to try this one as well because it will be fun. So that's what I got in my Birchbox. Hopefully that was a little bit faster than usual. 85% of the way done with War and Peace. My husband and I actually canceled our gym memberships because we don't go. I still have a little bit of time to go before it's done. I'm hoping to still go. But I'm at 85%, so I'm getting there. I actually did a lot of reading at my mom's too. I mostly did reading, spinning, and working on the soccer and blankie, and obviously hanging out with my family. But it was nice to just relax and sort of connect with some things that I hadn't connected with in a while. Another thing, and I've been showing them off all podcast, and maybe you noticed, I did my nails. You see that? I went to my first Jamberry party on Friday. And if you haven't heard of Jamberry, what it is they are nail wraps, or I guess basically like nail stickers. And they are supposed to last, up to like 2 weeks on your fingers and up to 4 weeks on your toes. And there's no drying time like there is with a nail polish. I like doing my nails, but I don't like the time it takes. Because if you want them to not smudge, you really have to wait. And, that's time that I could be crafting. And instead, I'm sitting watching Roseanne on TV. And, nothing wrong with Roseanne, but you just kind of want to get going with your day. And so I thought it would be interesting. One of my coworkers was hosting the party, and I found out about it. And she's like, yeah, you can absolutely come. So I went, and I ordered some wraps. And the lady did a couple of samples on us. So I got samples on, obviously, my middle finger of this print. They're not, 100% perfectly flat. We were not rushed, but I wasn't the only one getting this done, and, so this one is a little bit bubbled, and, yeah, I don't know. And then, while I was waiting for everybody else to get theirs done, I used some of their nail lacquer in Ruby, because I thought it'd be fun to have black and white and red all over, so... And I am eagerly awaiting those, and I've got a couple of additional samples. I won a couple of the party games, and so I have a couple of samples that I can use to practice while I'm waiting for those. So, I'm excited. I'm very curious to hopefully have some cute nails in the coming weeks, and these are way shorter than I like my nails, but I didn't know I was going to a Jamberry party. Anyway. And then the very last thing that I will talk about is the last time that I really sat down and chatted with you guys, I'd mentioned that I was going to the doctor, or maybe I'd been to the doctor at that point. I don't remember. But we did get my blood work back and got some answers for me. I'm actually surprisingly, amazingly, wonderfully healthy, considering that I have not been to a primary care practitioner in a long time. We did find a couple of things that I need to work on, so I'm making some lifestyle changes, which is fine. They've been going really well. And the one that I was really surprised about was my vitamin D deficiency. Maybe because I sit inside and podcast on the weekends instead of going outside and playing in the sun. But I don't like being in the sun. I burn pretty easily. And I do have a family history of melanoma, so I do try to limit my unprotected sun exposure. So I had no idea that I had a vitamin D deficiency. And I also had no idea that there was such a thing as a vitamin D prescription, vitamin D. But no, I actually had to get a prescription for vitamin D. Like in your one-a-day vitamins, you usually have about 1,000 units. And I had to get 50,000 units of vitamin D once a week for a month. My last pill is going to be this coming Tuesday, and then I have to go down to daily 4,000 units of vitamin D. And I'll be getting my blood tested again in late October, early November when I go back for my follow-up and physical. And we'll see how I'm doing with my lifestyle changes and my vitamin D. The headaches, we're still working on those. I have a feeling I'm going to have to see a specialist because the medication I'm on is not working as well as it used to 10 years ago, when my headaches may have been caused by different things. Who knows? But, yeah, no, I am very lucky and pretty healthy, so that is awesome. I remembered that I have a catchphrase. I have forgotten to say this catchphrase, like, in the last 3 videos, but I remembered this time. And it is... Oh my god, I forgot my own catchphrase. I remembered I had one, but I forgot what it was. Okay. It gets done one stitch at a time. There we go. Thanks so much for sticking with me, guys. I hope you have a great couple of weeks. Don't forget to comment for a chance to win a copy of the Agatha sock pattern in the Ravelry thread. And Lisa, seriously, call me, okay? Bye.